Hello everyone, welcome back. So you can see I'm playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe again, and today I'm going to be doing the final cup, which is the Spiny Cup, in the final DLC. It is over after this. No more of this game ever again, until they make Mario Kart 9, and then I'll come back. But until then, and then I'm going to be showing off the more DLC characters. So here we got Pauline, I think's her name. Let me go back just to make, yep, Pauline. She is most notably known from the Donkey Kong series. Actually, which one? I feel like she was from the original Donkey Kong. I don't think I'm gaslighting myself here. I'm pretty sure it's not Princess Peach. It's actually Pauline. Let's see. The City Tripper is actually a pretty decent one to give her. Matches her collar and all that good stuff. And let's see. She might, sports car would kind of make sense too, but it has to match the color. You know what? The City Tripper it is. It seems to match the best. And yeah, some nice red wheels there. Might as well. Alright, now what works best for her? The Peach Parasol. I feel like that's kind of wrong to use a different princess. Although Pauline's not really a princess. You know what? The plane matches color-wise. So I feel like that's about as good as it's going to get. There's really nothing that matches her personally. Alright, so here we go. The final cup. This is it, people. It is over after this. You've got Madrid Drive from Tour. You have Rosalina's Ice World from the 3DS. You have the SNES Bowser Castle 3, which has insanely good music. And then you have Rainbow Road from the Wii. So here we go. This is it, people. Lock in. as those terrible Facebook pages go. Alright, hit a like on this video to lock in your view. Where they make up like random bullshit like that. Like, listen, alright, so here's the magic trick. Which number do you think it is? Go ahead and hit the like button to lock in your answer. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. Frankly, I don't know who falls for that at this point. It's kind of insane. Ooh, look at her go. Alright. We got the large Shy Guys on the side. I feel like I've pointed out once before, but some of the characters on the side are way larger than they should be. Like, granted, it would look kind of weird if they were just tiny and jumping around. But when you drive up next to, like, the Yoshis and the Shy Guys, for instance, they're huge. They're like titans. It's like they're literally, like, double your size. Not very accurate. Like, you'll probably see it if I drift close to one. Like, look over here. Get a quick look. Bam, look at that. See how huge they are? Go back and pause the video. It's unnerving how big they are. You know what? This City Tripper actually kind of kicks ass. This thing is good. It was like right up my alley of the way that I usually drive around. Ooh. So one issue I have with a lot of the motorcycles is they're really bad with drifting, but this one's good. Like, a lot of the times on motorcycles you don't really need to drift because they're so, like, they turn so tightly. But this is like a good in-between between a cart and the motorcycles. You get some draft there. Ooh, look at that. Took him out. Hit him with a little banana on the side. Sounds like a euphemism. Yeah, look how massive they are. It trips me out every time I go past them. They're so huge. I like tracks like this, by the way. Like back there, you saw how the track kind of shifts as you go. Pauline's just strutting her stuff over there. Hopefully that'll connect. Damn, I should have saved that banana. She's like working her stuff over there. Every time she does a jump or a twist, she does like some kind of modeling. Look at her. Really trying to catch your eye. She's hot is what I'm saying. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Final lap. I'm just gonna throw all those peels out. Alright. Oh my god. The worst. They just gave me two back-to-back banana peels. I guess at this point on the final lap, you can just kind of pepper the road with them. You're not going to have any... Oh, somebody slipped. I was checking the map. Yeah, you're not really going to have any chance of hitting them again, so it's like... It's not a bad item to get. I just... Ooh, here we are in the soccer stadium. Or we're in Madrid, so the football stadium. Ooh. Totally forgot what I was saying before I got distracted by my American ignorance. Oh, look at her. She's like, oh, thank you. Oh my god. That box, like, distorted her face. That was kind of creepy. It, like, hit her right in the head and distorted reality. Alright. Like the plant in the background. You got Rosalina's Ice World from the 3DS. This one was actually good. It was Mario Kart 7. It was a good game. I missed the 3DS. That is one... Let's go back to Nintendo complaints. That is one complaint that I have for Nintendo that I'll never let go, is shutting down the 3DS shop. And the Wii U shop for that matter, but I'm going to be honest, I wasn't huge on the Wii U. I'm going to try to kill Baby Day. Oh, now I'm especially going to kill you. Anyway. I'm going to get up there and commit infanticide. Alright. I will not rest until she is hit with this show. Yeah, anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the Nintendo 3DS shop and the Wii U shop being taken down. Which I get it if it's like not making any money whatsoever. But I do kind of hate this idea that things can be removed from being purchased. Like, just in general. Like, it happens with when licenses expire, and that's the reason why the Deadpool game, when it came out, it went off shelves for so many years, because the license expired. Which, it's like, in those cases, it's, you know, whatever. It's very annoying, I will say. Like, we're finally getting Marvel vs. Capcom again, and I recommend anybody, if you even slightly like that game, buy it now, because there is a chance that you'll never be able to play it again if the license expires. Because that's what's happened for, like, the last, 15 years at this point. I think the last game, the last console it came out on, you could say the Xbox 360, but they only got... I'm pretty sure they only got Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which, granted, amazing game, best in the series. But, however, the only other way you could play the other games was on the original PlayStation. So if you wanted to play, like, Marvel Superheroes, if you wanted to play X-Men vs. Street Fighter, you would have to get the original you would have to either, A, play it in an arcade, or get the arcade 1-up that has those on there, which is a minimum of $500, and I would know because I have one, which is fun, I will say, it's very good. But if you don't want to spend $500 or get the original arcade or buy a PlayStation 1 and like a $600 copy of the Marvel Fighting Collection, there is really no way to play it. So I would highly urge anybody who's a big fan of fighting games, get the Marvel vs. Capcom Collection when it comes out, as I fall to my death, because there is a chance that the license will expire again and you'll never be able to play them again. So it's good. Even if you just get, like, the digital version, very few games ever get their access revoked. So even, like, Deadpool, for instance, if you bought the game digitally, it was still yours. You just couldn't buy it anymore. Same thing with a lot of licenses. So it's like, even if you just buy it and leave it there on your console, they can't take it from you. So it's like, if you had it initially, like for Marvel vs. Capcom 2, for instance, I still have that on the 360, but I only have it on the 360. Like, they never were able to bring it over to the Series X with backwards compatibility, because they didn't have the license. So that's why I just urge you, buy it. Don't even think about it. So I think it's like $40, but it comes with 8 different games. I think 9 if you include Punisher. Or maybe Punisher is the 8th game. Either way, it is a very good collection, and if you are a fan of fighting games, and Capcom games in general, very good collection. And I will absolutely be playing it non-stop when it comes out. The only thing that I wish they would change, which they had an opportunity, this is the one with the very good music, by the way, but the one thing I wish they would change in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is the music. Like, the jazz music is kind of cool occasionally, but literally every single track is jazz music. And it's like, I get it. At some point, I get it. I don't want to hear it every single time. So that's what's good about shows like Jujutsu Kaisen, where... like, they have a lot of jazz segments in there, but it's not the only genre of music. Oh, that one was new. She brought out the light shows. Like, oh, there it is again. Whew. Oh, I'm dead. Just straight to the lava. At least she went out in style. But yeah, that's a big thing for me in a lot of games where variety is huge, and especially in the game with the biggest roster of all of them. I think they have 52 or 56 fighters, something like that. It's like, I wish there was variety in the music. It's the only thing that holds it back from being the best, like the fully best one, undisputed. Which that's one thing they could have corrected in the collection, because they could have an option, and they probably still might, who knows, but they should have an option in there where you can actually change the music. Like something like Dragon Ball FighterZ did, for instance, another great fighting game. But they have where you can just set the stage music to whatever the hell you want, and you can get like additional music from DLC or just unlocking it or whatever. But stuff like that is good. I wish they, just update it in that way. Because they do update the visuals. Like, they add modes where they clean up the sprites and all that, so they don't have rough edges. Like smoothing. Which I know some people don't really like, but you can just turn it off. You don't have to look at it if you don't want to. But they should do the same thing for the music. You should be able to sub it out. But anyway, that's my only complaint there. Back to my Nintendo complaint about the Nintendo 3DS shop. You thought I forgot? No, I remembered, and I'm about to get hit with this. Another Nintendo complaint. The blue shell. But yeah, it's just for instance, like, again, what I was saying in my previous video about things that Pokemon and Nintendo in general will kind of, like, give you FOMO about, like, oh, if you didn't buy Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl in the first month, you'll never get the Manaphy egg, ever. The event will never come back. Not even a year, not even 5 years from now. It'll never come back. Very annoying. But it's just, stuff like that, it's really exemplified, like going back to the taking things off the marketplace for the 3DS, for instance. The only way that you can legitimately play Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, and Gold, Silver, and Crystal is on the 3DS shop. You could technically buy it in real life, which I do still have the cartridges for from the Game Boy. I'm definitely not getting 3 stars, by the way. Baby Daisy crushed me once again. But the only way in this modern day that you could have played those 6 original Game Boy games, and up until that point, Gen 1 and Gen 2 were completely separate from the entire Pokemon ecosystem. This stage is cool, by the way. But basically everything in Gen 1 and everything in Gen 2 could not interact with any of the modern games. Because the cool thing, starting from Gen 3, is that you could transfer it to Gen 4, and then from Gen 4 to Gen 5, and then from there to the Pokemon Bank, and yada yada, Gen 6. So you could actually move up. You could take your original team from Ruby and Sapphire, or like Fire Red and Leaf Green. You could take them all the way up to Gen 9 on the Switch, which is awesome. Like, that's very few games do anything like that, which is why I have to, again, give Nintendo and Game Freak props on that. No games have that connectivity. Like, you can't just pick up, you know, Halo 1 and have something transfer all the way up to Halo Infinite. It's pretty wild that they still let you do that. But, that being said, the fact that if you didn't buy, and I did buy all 6 of them, I bought all of Gen 1 and Gen 2 on the 3DS, but if you didn't buy them while the shop was active, you'll just never have access to them. So it's like stuff like that is pretty frustrating, where they'll do things that are just completely, like, no one in the industry gets even close to doing, like what I just said, where if you use the 3DS, you can actually transfer it all the way from Gen 1 to Gen 9, which is insane. So it's like they'll do things like that that are insanely cool, and then they'll just, like, shoot themselves in the foot. Because even if they just release it on the Switch, it's like, just put it on the Switch. Even if you just re-release it again, $10 each, I don't care. I will gladly just buy it again. Because they're just fun games. And it's like, stuff like that. Because they do occasionally, like Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 being added to the Switch was very cool and completely unexpected. But the one thing that sucks is that those games are not made for rental Pokemon. They're not. You get like half the value of the game by only using rental Pokemon. And there are certain, like, people you pretty much can't even beat with rental Pokemon because their movesets just suck so badly. Because to get into it without being, like, hyper specific, if you don't understand Pokemon, they'll have Pokemon that they'll be like the Evolution 1, like Stage 1 evolution, and they'll have Earthquake. And then you'll have the Stage 2 evolution will have, like, Dig. And that's the way that they balance the rental Pokemon, because if you just gave, like, Earthquake to Nidoking, there would be no reason to use Nidorino, for instance. So it's like they do it that way, and also the stat difference, where it's like, oh, well, why don't I just use the Charizard that has Flamethrower and Fly and all these super good attacks? It's like, why would I even bother using the other ones? So it's like, I get it from a balancing aspect, but it's really not supposed to be balanced in that way. Like, you're supposed to train the team up and have your own specific team and just kind of balance it in your favor in that way. So it's just something that's pretty annoying. All that being said, I can't really, like, the only 2 videos on my channel that I could do in Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 was the mini-games that are left completely untouched, because you don't have to, you know, put your own Pokemon in there. But for anything else, like doing the Gym Leader Castle, which I haven't released it, but I have the Pokemon Stadium 1 Gym Leader Castle pretty much finished. I just need to do 2 more, Giovanni and then the Champion in Elite 4. I'm sucking at this one, by the way. I know Rainbow Roads are usually the hardest, but I am not doing well. Ooh, might hit him again. Get him with one final flurry there. But yeah, if I were to do runs like that, I literally have to emulate it. Because even though they have the original Gen 1 and Gen 2 on the 3DS, and they have Pokemon Stadium on the Switch, they don't connect. And it's just something that's I'm running all over the place. And it's like, it's something very frustrating because they've shown that they can do that. Like, Gen 1 and Gen 2 never had wireless transfers for trading and battles, but the 3DS version did, because they just, you know, went in there and altered the system, which they could easily do to create a 3DS to Switch transfer. Or even, like I said, just put it on the Switch. That'll make it so much easier. People have already modded their consoles to put Pokemon from their, like, modded version of Red and Blue over to the Switch version of Pokemon Stadium. So it's like, it clearly, the capability is there, they just don't do it for some reason. And they would print money if they re-release those games on the Switch. Like, even if it was $5 each, or just do what the 3DS did at $10 each, people will buy it. They will buy it in droves, because there is no other way to get it outside of emulation and paying like $400 for a cartridge that you can't even connect to anything. So anyway, that's the end of that rant. Daisy, I can't believe they saved that as the highlight. They just hate me. They're like, hey, look at you, you got first place. Here's when baby Daisy destroyed you. Look at her go. But yeah, anyway, that is it. That is it for, once again, my rant. And then also, that is it for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe videos. It'll probably be for the foreseeable future that there's really nothing else to do here. Oh, and I even get credits. This isn't new. This didn't pop up for the other ones. I guess it's because it's like the actual last one. But yeah, what a ride it's been. Very, very crazy that they started with 48 tracks and just gave you another 48 just because. And also, since I have the Nintendo Online, this was all free, so I didn't have to pay for any of the expansions, which is very nice. But yeah, that's it for the video. I don't really know what's up next in the schedule, but I'll be back with something that you can be sure of.